guys, today I want to talk about something that I think is going to help a lot of people, and that's how to start an organization or a team. So, this framework that I'm going to be talking about, there's really 7 parts of this framework. I've seen it done that it's actually a priority list from number 1 to 7, but I like to look at it more of like a web, that they're all equally important, but there are things that need to be emphasized more, maybe in your culture or your values and all that stuff. So let's just get into it. Number 1, the most important thing, top priority, and this would be the executive leader who's going to be paving the way of this specific one, but it's shared values. You need to understand what your team or your organization, what are your shared values? And a lot of times this is, what are my values? I'm starting the organization, and if it's a church, God's bringing his bride of Christ through me in this specific city, and he's used me in the past for some specific things, and those need to go through the lens of what my values are. What are the things that make you cry? What are the things that make you happy? What are the things that are non-negotiable? What are the things in previous organizations that you absolutely despised? Those are usually shared values that are non-negotiable. Shared values are the things that are absolutes in your organization. Number 2, strategy. There are so many strategies in no matter what you're starting. Think about a marketing agency. There's like 50 different types of marketing. There's so many different ways to start one. There's so many different ways to market to a specific person. There needs to be a strategy. This one's my favorite one because I love thinking about growth. I love thinking about opportunities and where we are to where we're going. Strategy is a lot of mission work. You're thinking about what are we going to do with our hands and how are we going to take this from here to there. Number 3, structure. And this one's super practical, super simple, but there needs to be a very clear structure in your organization. A structure can be executive director, whatever it is. There needs to be a very clear, defined structure and way of linear leadership. You think about this. You walk into a Chick-fil-A and you don't see anybody as a manager or a leader. You don't know how to talk to if there's something wrong, but every time it's the person with the button-up shirt, the long sleeves, no tie. Sometimes they're wearing a tie. They have a different name tag. It's very obvious that person is the manager. That's who I need to talk to. If you're a church, you need to be able to actually create this in your Sundays. When somebody walks up on stage and they introduce themselves, again, titles carry no weight, but structures are imperative, especially if you plan on hiring. Number 4, systems. What systems is my organization going to be using? And to start out with, you probably need to not bring in 50 systems. You probably need 3 to 4 amazing systems. You think about, how are we going to cross-platform post on social media? How are we going to communicate together? Like you have Microsoft Teams, you have Slack, you have Workshop. There's so many different apps that you can use. It might be a little confusing, but you as a leader, and if you are not good at this, what a great opportunity to bring somebody in who is really great at systems and literally delegate it to them and say, hey, I think you would be so good at finding 3 to 5 systems that would help us be a sustainable team and grow together. Systems. Number 5, staff. You're gonna have a team someday. The people on your team, what do you want them to not just look like physically, but their character? What do you want them to sound like, talk like? And again, this is probably super similar to your shared values, but this is how it actually correlates to people. Shared values without people is irrelevant. Having people on your team and be able to help them grow and understand who they are and what part they have to play, they all can go in intertwined in the staffing. So the people, and staff might not be paid. If you're a church planter or church startup, you're probably not gonna have the budget to hire 10 people, but the staffing of this is your roles and the people on the teams. Number 6, style. This is what people see with their eyes. What style do we want our organization to be? Do we want it to be a business casual? Do we want it to be fun and relaxed? Do we want it to be comfortable? Do we want it to be welcoming, inclusive? Do you want it to be exclusive? The style is the things that can be flexible a lot of times. And the other ones might not be so much, but the style and the last one we'll talk about are pretty flexible. And style is what I would say is you need to accept the reality of the culture of your community. So your community has a specific style. I can walk down your street and I can guarantee you that there's a specific culture. You look at the roofs, you look at the door colors, you look at the streets. Is there graffiti on the grounds? Is there very nice cut grass? There's a style to everything, and you as a leader need to have awareness of what the style is in your community and actually partner with that, to not be the random weirdo that nobody wants to go into. They want to actually see something that they're familiar with, even if it's their first time. And last but not least, skills. So skills is something that as a leader, your job is to actually create skills in other people. They're not there to serve you, you're there to serve them. So there's specific skills that you're gonna need to continue to grow in your organization and the needs, because you can't be there for everything or everyone and do everything by yourself. There are specific needs in your organization that you're gonna need to define, you're gonna need to create, and you're gonna need to emulate and model probably in the first couple years. A great example of this, if you're a church planner, be at load-in or setup every Sunday, because people might know how to do it with their hands. They might know how to set up pipe and drape or the kids' place or the stage, whatever it is, but they don't know the spirit yet or the heart behind everything. And a skill is something that we can all do together. If you had a background in marketing and you're starting a church, you don't want to do that forever. You want to bring somebody along the journey with you. We always like to say this: me, we, you. I'm gonna do it, we're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. It's the same thing with skills. So this is what we call the 7S framework. The 7S is so helpful whether you're thinking of creating a new team, a new business, a church plant. You go through every single one of these, you will be able to help create some documents, some vision and clarity for a team in the future, to exactly what it's going to look like, feel like, sound like, the experience is going to be like, our values as a company, whatever it is. These 7 will help you so much grow your organization and start with a foot forward. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this short video added so much value to you. Make sure you like and subscribe. It means so much to me and our team. Seriously, it means the world. Thank you so much. Hope that you stay watching our videos. We post every single week. Leadership content, church content, whatever it is, we're gonna post it, and we hope it brings you value. Thank you.